Darius, how do you combine your need to be aggressive with the need to be disciplined against a guy as dynamic as Lamar Jackson?
Um, I think just more so just playing smart. It is not you can't play to make a play. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta play to do your job, and as long as everyone do that, I mean that's the name of the game. Because once you go out and try to make a play, and you want you want to do something that's not really your job, that's when things go south. So it's just basically being patient, doing your job, and just not trying to do too much extra stuff.
Ross Bolin.
Hey Darius, just how thin is the margin of error in the NFL this year, and how much thinner is that margin when you're playing against a quarterback and a team like the Baltimore Ravens?
On the margin of error, it's very slim. One slip up, they could lose a ball game, and then, like you said, playing against the Baltimore Ravens, guy like Lamar Jackson, he's looking for that one mistake. And you see it, you see a lot of his big runs. It's coming from a lot of mistakes from the defense. And he's so athletic that one mistake turns into a big play. You just got to make sure that everybody's on one accord and just playing 11 versus 1.
Thank you.
Mike Chappell.
Darius, players, like a lot of people, are creatures of habit, routine. When something like today happens where, you're doing meetings virtually and then you're going to have a different practice, maybe a walkthrough, whatever, how do you deal with the sudden adjustments? Or are you used to it now?
It's just like if, it's a fumble, kickoff return long, anything, sudden change. You got to adapt and just go with it. You take whatever at hand, and you take it to the chin. You say, "Let's go, let's make a play." And then now I feel like this will make our story even better. We're going through this, we're going through adversity. It is, it's not about it's not how you get knocked down. It's what you do when you get up from being knocked down. I just basically say it's the same thing now. We face adversity. It's how we approach the game, and then how we step up and make this thing work.
That's been this whole off season, season, hasn't it? Starting in March.
Yeah, but it's going to happen. This something that we talked about. Things like this, or we knew eventually this was going to come down to today, and we prepared. Virtual meetings have already been. We do great in virtual meetings. We have already do a lot of walkthrough reps. So that's something that we prepare for. So if you prepare for something, when it finally gets here, you already immune to it. You know exactly what's going to do. So there's really no sudden change besides, no practice. But it is what it is for us. We know exactly what are the tasks. We know exactly what we need to do to get this job done.
Thanks, Darius.
All right, we'll go a few more. Mike Wells.
Hey, Darius, I want to ask you, what has been the strongest attribute that DeForest Buckner has brought to the team, whether it's on the field or in the locker room, in your eyes?
First and foremost, I'd like to say congratulations to you for winning, But, just with DeForest, he's a complete dog. Just his presence up front, I don't think there's a guard one-on-one that can, block him one-on-one besides Quentin. And, that shows as for a linebacker, they allow us to run around, make plays. Then you see him in a pass rush game. He's getting pressures after pressures after pressure, so he's very disruptive in the pass game as well. So he's only good in run plays. No, he's good in run and pass. And then, he's by far, besides him, Grove, and Muhammad, I've never seen big guys run to the ball as well as they do. And that just means a lot of, his character and how much this game means to him.
And then secondly, appreciate the shout out. And then when you've been somebody who's been very open and holding that chip on the shoulder about where you came from, he said he kind of had the same chip after being shocked that he was traded from San Francisco. Do you kind of notice that same demeanor out of him?
Yeah, because it's now I got something to prove. Once you get traded, I just feel like, hopefully it will never happen to me, but if someone gets traded from a team, that's basically saying they didn't believe in you. In my mind, it's basically a slap in their face, saying, "Okay, you wasn't good enough. We didn't want you here." And so now it's more so like, okay, I'm about to prove you guys what you should have had, what you could have had, and I'm gonna prove that I belong in the NFL. And he's proven it each game. I haven't yet to see him, have a bad game. He's very disruptive. I really feel like he got that big chip on his shoulder. He's trying to make every single player, and that's why he's getting all these pressures, he's getting all these tackles, and that's why he's hustling the way he does, because he don't want to feel that feeling again. Just like I don't want to feel that feeling again of everybody doubting me. So I feel like that's the reason why he got that chip, and I can definitely understand it.
Stephen Holder.
Darius, I got on late, so I apologize if somebody asked this, but I know, speaking of, being doubted and all that, I know you really embrace these opportunities, big stage, big name opponents and all that. How much do you embrace that? And I mean, do you care about showing out on a stage like that? Does that matter to you personally?
Not showing out. I would say no, that doesn't,
Well, like more making a statement, I guess, sort of a little bit,
I just think so. Just me want to do as much as I need to do to help this team win. Because it doesn't really matter if I show out and then you lose a ball game, but I just want to do everything in my will to help this team win. And yes, with the big stage, big team, that just give you that extra drive to say, okay, you know what, it's your time to prove that you belong, and it's your time to prove that you can play against anyone. So, just for all the doubters and everything, these are games that, you should really want to step up. It's just about like me facing every linebacker that was drafted before me. You want to outplay them guys. So I want to go out there and outplay their offense, just so I can say, you know what, I stepped up to the challenge. I took the challenge, and, I succeeded because I'm a competitor. I love to win. I love to compete. And this game right here is going to be one of the biggest competitive games, as not just, in the run game, but actually, facing a guy like Lamar Jackson.
All right, last one, Zach Kiefer.
Hey, Darius. I wanted to go back to DeForest, if you don't mind. You saw the play against the Vikings where he basically just threw that guy like a rag doll. He plays such a violent brand of football. Is it ever amazed you how nice of a guy he is kind of off the field, and like the two sides of him? Like, how have you learned about that the last couple of months?
It's so crazy because I never seen him upset. I never heard him raise his voice. He's very polite. He's very nice. He's well-mannered. And, just get between the lines. It's just he's a different cat. Like, it's more so like, now I got to go out here and be a dog. Like, even in the game, like, he don't talk as much in the game, but, he goes out and he's tossing people around like they have no family. He's just making people just look silly. And it's crazy because when I say he's by far one of the nicest guys that I ever met, very genuine. And it's crazy that he's very disruptive, and, he got that little mean streak between the whistles. But once the whistle blows, he's back to that 6'8", 290-pound, that sweet little nice guy, I guess.